Hey, and welcome to Matt and Jess TV. I am Matt Rose.
And I'm Jessica Bun Bun.
Welcome to our new edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. We are recording this on a Sunday. It seems, per what the house guests are saying on the feeds, they've been tipped off that there's an HOH competition / eviction right around the corner. So I think we all have to brace ourselves that at any point today, not of this recording, but we could be losing Keanu from the house.
Yeah, it feels like his time is over. Our last video up, we have all the reasons why this is going down the way that it is, if you haven't checked it out yet. But it does feel like we are losing him, and now we are having to kind of be pushing forward a bit.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that as this video goes along, but we also have a lot to talk about here when it comes to Vince and Morgan. And I know that the subject of their relationship has garnered a lot of discourse inside of the house to the point where Zingbot is coming in and making zings all about it. Like, it is a lot, but we've tried to keep a lot of things in these videos framed specifically around the game. But today we do have discussion pertaining to their relationship that in turn is going to affect their games, and it has to do with things that they have explicitly said themselves. This is not speculation. Like, this is not anything like that.
Yeah, and you know, they've been kind of deep diving a little more into their actual feelings and kind of what's going on a little bit in ways that we're all like actually getting a bit more of the real on it. And you know, for me, I'm actually kind of surprised that most of it is coming up right now, outside of course stuff that has to do with game.
Yeah.
Because we're like a week away from them being out of the house when there is no live feeds and they can talk about it privately.
Yeah, that is kind of the funny thing about it, is that they're both Californians. It's not like they live that far from each other.
No.
It feels like, I'm guessing it's just you get antsy in this house, you know, time has its own sort of weird variables with it. It's much more of a flat circle in there than it is in real life. So I feel like they probably are just in this spot where it's like they can't help themselves. They got to talk about it. They've tried to use whatever sort of code words they want, but eventually, like, you know, we don't have to be master detectives here to kind of crack the code.
Yeah, we're going to dive in all in this relationship because we have to.
Okay, well, before we do that, though, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because we will be here with more Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers, and we have so much coming up with reality TV, including this week, the premieres of Survivor 49, the new season of The Amazing Race, which features Big Brother house guests and their loved ones. We also know Celebrity Traders UK is now coming on October the 8th. That's going to be really fun, and we are so excited to be here with you guys for all of that.
Absolutely. We have tons of reality TV coverage coming up, as well as our scripted stuff. So hit that subscribe button and stick with us. And if you want to talk Big Brother further with us, you can head over to our Patreon. Over there, we're having chats and polls and discussions, all kinds of stuff going on over there. So thank you so much to everyone who has helped to support us over on our Patreon.
Thank you guys. Like, we really do appreciate that. Okay, so let's start the discussion of Vince and Morgan with option one. Like, okay, this is a phrase.
Oh my God, I just need to put my hard hat on for
Everyone put all the hard hats on. So
all right.
Option one is a phrase that had been uttered by the two of them over the course of the past couple of days. And it's led to a lot of questions like, oh, what's option one? What are they talking about? And it seems like it was a conversation that originated off feeds, probably when the two of them knew that they were off feeds. But it's one of those things, especially when we're talking about relationships outside the game, when it affects people who are outside the game, like, you know, it doesn't feel right to just speculate on a lot of that.
Absolutely.
But now, though, we're in a spot where overnight they were talking in deep code about some of their feelings, but at the same time, Vince made some stuff pretty clear, because he asked for a percentage, and it did not need to be, you know, something a master coder needs to come in here. It's really just about what's the percentage that there is something here between us that can play out on the outside world.
Yeah, where Morgan's kind of like, you know, is it what I think you're talking about? I mean, and it is.
Yeah, and she indicated that she really can't allow herself to fully go there for, you know, quote unquote, obvious reasons. And I think, you know, those reasons have a lot to do with Vince is in a relationship in real life.
Yeah.
She does not want to put herself in that position, especially on TV. And ultimately, she just tells him that, you know, the percentage is not, and this is a double negative, but not non-existent.
Yeah, so you've just put yourself in that, you've allowed yourself to go there by saying that's non-existent, or it's not existent.
Yeah.
You have allowed yourself to go there and you have said it. So, you're already there. You guys have been cuddling and
Yes.
touching and hugging. You're sharing a bed together. I mean, the percentage is obviously there, and it is high, and you are going there.
Yeah, and I think the scenario in situations like this is just like, ideally you would want to go, if you are Vince, to your significant other and just be like, okay, this relationship is over before moving on. And unfortunately, that's not happening within the context of this game.
The other option is and this is a horrible option, but it's better than what is happening,
Yeah.
is break up with her on the show. Just end the relationship instead of going into the diary rooms and being like, hey, love you, see you soon. Whatever. Stop that. Just stop that. And just say it, either make it a big TV moment. We've seen stuff like this happen before. I remember Matt Damon was dating Minnie Driver and went on like whatever talk show, and they were dating, and someone was like, oh yeah, so about your relationship. He's like, nah, I'm single. And Minnie Driver's like, yeah, I found out that way. He basically dumped me on the show. So just make it the TV moment. If you want to be clear and free of this, just break up with her. Use your goodbye message or whatever to just be like, okay, and my vote is for this person. Also, girlfriend, it's over.
Yeah, I mean, clearly this is a situation where, neither one of them on the feeds, they want to look like, they're the bad guy in all of this.
Then break up with her.
This is all on Vince, because it's like, you're the person in the relationship. You could handle this in a much better way. And I'm sure you're probably looking at this situation thinking, and a lot of contestants on Big Brother have done this over the years, where you're just like, oh, people don't see everything. And it's like, yeah, theoretically, there are things that we don't see, but when there's only 5 people left in the game, we're seeing just about everything. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. He is in a relationship. He has made a commitment. Everybody, both of them are to blame. She knows it. He knows it. If they're making this decision, then yes, he can't pick up the phone and call her, but he can at least stop saying, I love you.
Okay, so this discussion continues overnight, where Morgan has commented, that this relationship is more than an alliance, and Vince is saying, oh, it's so much more for me. Like, they're not putting a specific label on it, but it's just like, okay, come on, guys. And you have Vince talking about how he's trying to fight feelings. So it's like, all right, this thing that everybody has been sort of talking and hinting and speculating about, it's like, okay, we all know that it's here now. It's been presented to us in a way where, we just have to accept it. We all have our opinions about it, and it just is what it is.
It is what it is. Morgan was very mad about Zingbot.
Yes.
Because the feelings are very clearly there.
Yeah, and that absolutely seems to be the case. Now, we're not just here, though, talking about this relationship for the sake of talking about this relationship, because this is all still a game, and there are active gameplay moments still happening, because we're in a spot here where Vince is HOH, Morgan has the power V. So clearly neither one of them is being evicted on this upcoming unique eviction. So they're moving forward in the game. And if you are Vince at this point, like, and he has talked to us about this, there's this real discussion of, okay, I know that I probably cannot win this game against Morgan, who will honestly beat anyone who is left. So if I have the opportunity to get rid of her and this helps me win the game, like, do I do it?
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of seen this situation before in the past on Big Brother and even Big Brother Canada, with people who have been kind of in these situations. And, there is that question. Again, if I can't beat them, do I get rid of them? And will they still be with me after the show?
Yeah, and it's a very complicated thing to do emotionally. Like, the best case scenario in all of this is Rob and Amber on Survivor All-Stars, where, they end up staying together after the show and getting married and having all, but it's just like, you never know what the future is going to hold here. And this is why, from my vantage point, and it's easy for me to say this because I'm not in the game, but I'm just like, Vince, you cut Morgan. If there's something that's going to be there between the two of you after the show and you want to try to pursue that, you can pursue that regardless, but you have to think for yourself here first.
You do, but that's what makes Big Brother so messy and so complicated. and so interesting to watch, right? Because people are having very real feelings, friendships, relationships, romances, people getting married after, having babies after. I
Mhm.
mean, this show really is complicated because it is about people when you really pull apart all the
Yeah.
like competitions and whatever backstabbing, all that other stuff. It is about the people and how people are feeling about each other. It's not just about money and what you're willing to do for money, but what you're not willing to do for money.
And this is why ultimately, like everything you said about this yesterday is correct. It's just like we're getting to a Vince Morgan final too, because
Yep.
it's just like whatever Vince tells us about how he's on the fence or not on, it's just like when the chips are down, this is somebody who has played a lot out of nervousness this season and kind of done some things that really frustrates us. Like I just do not think that he is going to have the guts in that sense to make that move where it's like, I'm going to get rid of this person and then I'm just going to hope if there is romantic mutual interest that it's going to work out after the fact.
No, people have done that in the past and it has not worked out. So I just don't think that he's got the confidence to do something like that
Hmm.
and win the money and hope that she'll still be around. I think he's going to accept second place and
Yep.
second place money, and she'll have the money, and we'll see how it all plays out afterwards. I think he's going to value that relationship over the money. I do.
There's just been so many signs already of that very thing, like including something, and he's been saying this for a while, of he never really wants to leave the Big Brother house, which is just kind of an insane thing to say in general, but it's just like, okay, clearly you like the attention Morgan is giving you, even if we didn't understand to what extent fully until now.
Listen, Mark S., I know you want to stay as your
Did
innie
not
and
expect
Severance,
that.
but you have to leave. You cannot just stay inside Lumen forever. You have to leave.
I don't know how we've managed so many Severance analogies this season, but it
Because
works.
it's the best show.
It is the best show, but okay. All right, let's move now to Keanu and Ashley, because Keanu clearly made a decision over the past 24
Mhm.
hours, and it's just like, even if I'm leaving, I'm going to leave in the only way I know how, and that is
Mhm.
by fighting with people and just being as messy as humanly possible.
Love you, King.
So, okay, he decides, for no real reason, he and Ashley get in this really heated argument yesterday, and a lot of it comes back to Rachel because both of them
Oh
want to
my God.
feel like they both have this special relationship with Rachel
And
where
you both do.
yes, and I think the thing is just that neither one of them understand fully how close the other person was to Rachel. Like
Mhm.
Ashley's had some of the best reads of anyone all season, but the
Yep.
one thing that she kind of had a blind spot for was that Rachel was as close to Keanu as she was.
Yeah.
And like he tried to go on this whole thing talking all about this to Ashley in his Keanu way, which is part one delusional and part two condescending. And Ashley just laid into him as a response to all of this. It basically was, you don't know what you're talking about. I was close. And they just start going back and forth at each other. And it is just so unbelievably funny.
There is enough Rachel love to go around. She can have more than one bestie. It'll all be all right. It is so ridiculous.
And then, Ava, okay, and this we can all get collectively angry at Ava at this point, including Keanu and Ashley, because in the midst of all this fun, she's just like, why are we still talking about Rachel? Rachel's not in the house anymore. And she's just like pulling faces and like saying this in a way where she's just like, oh, I'm gonna look like the hero on the show. I'm putting myself out here to make this like statement. No, nobody liked you saying this, Ava.
It is going to be very interesting after this show for Ava to see the reactions about her. I'm very curious how she's going to kind of explain some of this away.
Yeah, it's just like she has this weird perception that just like not everybody likes Rachel, and it's just like you are sorely mistaken here. Because I mean,
Yes.
either Rachel or Keanu is gonna be AFP. Like that seems like 100% a sure thing at this point.
1,000%
Yeah.
it's between the two of them.
Yeah, and they're gonna be announced in like the top three. And Ava's just gonna have to sit there, and I'm very excited to see what kind of face she puts on when that moment happens.
Yep.
The funniest stuff to me, though, as great as that argument was, came in the aftermath of this argument. Because Keanu at one point announces to Vince, and he's just like, oh, by the way, Vince, just a reminder that if you don't get Morgan out, you're not going to win. And he says this while Morgan is right there.
It's oh man, I'm really gonna miss watching him. I mean, luckily we made it to almost the end
I
and
know.
still having him this whole time. Such a messy boy summer.
Yes.
But like, yeah, it's gonna be tough for that last little while not having him around on the feeds.
So all of this happened. So he says this for an inexplicable reason. Morgan's, of course,
He's going on a blaze of glory.
yeah, like Morgan's, of course, mad at him at this moment. Not that it really matters. Like eventually, Keanu and Ashley make up, and for some reason, Keanu was in like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Ashley, you have my vote. If you made it," it's like you guys were just yelling at each other 10 minutes ago.
I know.
I think here's the thing. I think Keanu likes this, and I don't know Keanu's family life, but I just get the sense that he just likes getting in arguments with people, but I think he also just respects it when somebody gives it back to him. Like he would much rather have this than Vince, who has just been lying to him like a million times about everything.
I think he understands or feels that he understands, and he does understand that it is entertaining TV and it is
Yes.
entertaining feeds. And he has talked about, like, oh, I want to come back to Big Brother. I want whatever, whatever. And I
Yes.
think he understands that having these fights and stirring the pot and having bad bedside manner with
Yes.
anybody is the way that that happens. That if you're not coming back as a winner, you are coming back as somebody who is a messy king,
Yeah.
or you are going to end up on another show. I feel like he knows that he's going to be a lock for the challenge.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like I've said this already. I'm hoping that somebody signs him to a contract first so that he can't go on the challenge right away.
He's absolutely going to go.
Yeah, but I mean, he's tailor made for that show. But
Yeah, he is.
the other funny thing about all this is that despite the argument that Keanu and Ashley have, their mutual just frustration at Ava kind of got them getting along again, because Ava actually was just so mad about Ava coming across as fake and doing all this stuff, and that she was basically saying at the end of all this, just like, if Keanu wasn't here, I would just rather Ava go, because I'm tired of Ava. She just knows, of course, Keanu is way more of a threat, so she has to keep Ava around for that very reason.
Absolutely. And he may still end up, like, even if she kept him, he's just going to take Vince to the end
Yeah,
anyways.
that's the thing. It's like, as fun as it even is to hear Keanu be like, "Oh, I'll vote for you, Ashley," I'm still terrified that he's just going to vote for Vince at the end anyway, for reasons that are still unclear.
He will.
Okay, well, here's where we'll briefly put on a tinfoil hat with Keanu right now, because yeah, it seems like he is 100% leaving the game. Like he has talked and talked. He's done his campaigning. At the time of this recording, he's basically given up on a lot of it at this point. Like he knows he's a goner. Everybody is trying to celebrate Morgan's birthday, so they've sort of shifted off to do some other things.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, is that the house guests have been told, and this is the specific wording that they have been told by the DR, that what's coming up is a unique eviction. And what in the world does that mean? Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna say the hopeful idea behind this first, because this is what is partially a dream, but it would also suck in certain scenarios.
Yeah, I mean, this is Big Brother, so hopeful is a word that's
Yeah,
not usual for
well-
this. So let's be hopeful.
Okay, so the part of me that likes Keanu, like, I would love for this to just mean, oh, the mastermind is coming in and he's just like, "Ava, Keanu, you must compete." And it's like they do some competition, Keanu gets to stay, and then Ava is automatically evicted. But
That sounds like the blockbuster just back in.
okay, this is the thing though. It's like, I would love that in theory, but it's just like, I know in my heart of hearts, I have to be consistent here and just be like, it really stung for Rachel when she was evicted by a competition. It's just like, I can't just switch it up because I don't like Ava.
Listen, maybe the unique eviction will just be like, we know that you all voted for Keanu, but instead, Ava, you are
It's just evicted. It's the mastermind Allison Grodner at that
know.
point. No, it's just like, I would love for there to be some sort of fashioned way in which Ava gets, because it's just like, Ava really, I don't like to use the words who deserves to be there, because it's just like Big Brother's a social game. And yeah, Ava, her deserving to be there is just because she's not a threat and she doesn't really win anything.
And that happens every season. Someone's always dragged to the end.
Yeah, it just feels like it would not be fair if she gets evicted because of a competition. And even
No.
though we like Keanu, he gets to stay. Keanu had multiple chances to stay around this
Yes.
week. He lost the HOH, he lost the veto. He doesn't have anyone to blame other than himself.
Yeah, I am not an Ava fan, but I am not a fan of some twist coming in at the final 5 to just kick somebody out of the house for no reason.
Yeah.
I will be so mad.
Yeah, I think the reality is just this unique eviction is probably just something where they have to just walk out. Maybe they don't do a Julie interview right away, or they do one without an audience. Like, we've seen that before. And
Yeah.
maybe they're just like, this is a unique eviction, but just unique pertaining to this season. Because yeah, we have seen that stuff before. Tinfoil hat stuff. It's all fun, but I think we just all have to accept Keanu is almost certainly going.
Unless maybe it's going to be unique in the way that it's like, okay, you're not actually playing the game anymore, but you're going to be staying in the house.
I would be okay with this. Keanu's still on the jury, but he just gets to
Right.
stay because they're just like, you know what?
Good feeds.
We want more of this Paramount Plus money. We do not
That's
want
right.
the in-game feeds to suddenly be boring. But that's where we are with today's edition of Big Brother 27 live feed spoilers. So let us know, what is your take on the latest of Vince and Morgan? Do you think there's any way that Vince would ever cut her if that meant an almost guaranteed chance of winning?
No way.
Let us know in the comments. Hit that subscribe button, and you can support us further by joining our Patreon. That link is in the description. Thank you so much for your support, and we will see you here next time.